Hello everyone. Sorry, actually my class was going on and it was my last class where I was teaching criminal drafting, and it was of 2 hours duration and it just ended 10 minutes ago. So uh, I again apologize and I'll start when the Visionary India chairman, Mr. Rachit, a very good friend, allows. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 sir. So you are audible. Part. Let's start the webinar now.
The your voice. So can I start now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Just
Part.
a second.
Yeah.
Hello,
Just a
Rahul
second.
sir. Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. I'll be starting with the introduction part, and we'll be telling about the Visionary India organization. So just give me a minute, and then I will let you
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
yeah, sure.
So
Okay, okay, no issues. You're Rachit, right?
no, sir. I'm the host. I
Is it?
also am a part of Visionary India team.
What's your name?
I am Parth Srivastav, sir.
Okay, okay. Shrivasta ji, I'll get back to you, don't worry.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so good evening to all. Welcome to this great webinar. I hope you are all doing great, safe and sound at your homes. I am Parth Srivastav. Before we start with the speaker's talk, I would like to tell you about us and our activities at Visionary India. So, Visionary India is a non-government voluntary association working for the adolescent strengthening. We are non-partisan think tank whose vision is to build a precise direction and deliberately be a cure to control youth thuggery in nation. Visionary India's main motive is to appear as a free organization of people to recite a solitary reason to bring advancement that will liberate the youth. Our vision is to improve the limits among youth in zone of politics, economics, community, progress, culture and arts, academic, international relations, literature and training on national level. Our objectives are to provide a stage to encourage the trading of information, experience, and arrangements among youngsters and subject matters expert. Raise attention to advance improvement, plan through innovative articulations like craftsmanship, music, and social exercises, with the goal that our childhood can think about our history and culture. Some of the past events of our organizations are since June 2020, we have organized webinars on many different topics like impact of lockdown on environment, right to privacy, competition law, etc. We have also organized quizzes and debate competitions on important topics like historical justice or misguided geopolitics, etc. Our different departments are working towards many more tasks like an art competition, like unique electoral symbol and integrated complaint portal, and all the other things that our department is working towards. This was it from my side, and I hope you learned something new and enjoy this webinar. Now over to you, Rishikesh.
Thank you, Parth. Good evening, everyone. I, S.A. Rishikesh, once again welcome you all in today's webinar on prostitution and human rights organized by Visionary India. Human rights is the world's fastest growing crime and a $150 billion industry annually. Although illegal under Indian law, human trafficking remains a significant problem in this country, and women and girls pay the highest price. While men are often caught in the bonded labor, over 16 million women and children in India have been predominantly trapped in sex traffic industry. More than 65,000 children below the age of 16 are trafficked every year in India, some of them as young as 5. 90% of this trafficking is interstate, while 10% is international. Even though India is the world's largest democratic republic, the country is plagued with widespread poverty and lack of proper education, resulting in myriad of human right violation. It's a complex issue involving the legal field and the society together. To discuss the legal aspects of this issue, today we have with us Advocate Rahul Tiwari of Delhi High Court. Sir has completed his legal education from New Law College, Bharati Vidyapeeth, Pune. He has obtained his LLM with 8.35 CGPA, specializing in cybercrime and economic offense. He is a judicial service aspirant with a strong passion for legal research and public speaking. He has presented 25 research papers in various international and national seminars. Sir has also a passion for teaching. He has been the chief guest of 5 webinars where he taught law students about basics of criminals and constitutional law. Sir has taught more than 200 students on criminal law through certificate courses. Sir has been invited as judge to various moot court competitions. Sir has also been invited in NLU Delhi as a resource person in a national conference on protection of women from sexual harassment at workplace. After passing from law school, he has worked on Babri Masjid demolition case as a research associate and then worked as an associate at litigation firm Lamba and Lamba Gurugram. He is now practicing in Delhi High Court, District Courts, and Gurugram District Court. His area of interest are criminal law, cyber law and security, artificial intelligence law, and corporate litigation. His hobbies include reading, researching, and swimming. He follows the life philosophy of Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and Ambedkar. He loves horse riding and swimming. Now, before inviting Sir, here are some instructions for the attendees. Please keep your mics muted throughout the webinar, and if you have any questions, please type them in the chat box. Your questions will be taken after the session. Now, without any further ado, I invite Sir to please start the session.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Advocate Rahul Tiwari, and I'm a criminal lawyer, and I practice in district court, mostly in Gurgaon and Delhi. And the reason for me, this is my 8th webinar basically, and the reason for me to take up this topic was that this is one of the area where we all know that it is a problem. Okay, but since the time immemorial, we have not provided any solution. And the biggest problem, and I have written a research paper also, and I have presented it twice. And I have found that the biggest problem with the people who are indulged in prostitution is that they are treated as a criminal, not as a victim. And that is the biggest problem, why even after having so much of strict laws, we don't have sorry, there was some first of all, remember one thing, that if we start from the constitution wise, first of all, we have to accept this fact that human trafficking and prostitution go side by side. What is human trafficking? It is illegal kidnapping of a person and transporting that person from one place to another for commercial use. And what is the commercial use? That suppose you have kidnapped a girl of who is 15 years old, you have transported that girl from one place to another, and you have uh, you have sold that girl to a place. It is your commercial use. Okay, that you have transported that girl from one place to another, you got your money. This is human trafficking. And that girl, when is sold, it is forced into prostitution. And now see, all this process is illegal except for one thing. Prostitution in India is legal. Suppose there is a woman who says that yes, I am ready to establish a physical relation with you, and in exchange of that, I will take this much of amount. So if this a contract between, if this contract happens and takes place between two people, with the person with whom she wants to establish a physical relationship in exchange of money, that is legal in India. But all the activities related to prostitution, all the commercial activities related to prostitution as illegal, such as soliciting the prostitute, such as advertising, such as opening a brothel or pimping or any such commercial activities uh, related to prostitution is illegal in India and is punishable. Now, before uh, moving further, we have to accept one more thing, that Supreme Court of India, if you read in the live law, Supreme Court of India had in one of his judgments said that the prostitution, the women in the who are working as a prostitute, should also has the right to dignity under Article 21. And the biggest article which saves all the, and she has all the right to access her fundamental rights, which are right to equality, equal protection of law, no discrimination on the ground of birth, caste, creed, or her gender. She also has the right to equal opportunity. She has also the freedom of speech and expression. She also hold equal protection on through Article 20 and Article 22. And most importantly, she also has the right to dignity under Article 21, just as the same as any other person, which can be which are you and me. Okay. And Article 23 and 24 talks about child labor and protection from human trafficking. So we have to understand this thing, that the person who are in the prostitution holds equal right as much as you and me. It is a legal profession, but the thing is, they are treated in such a way. I am again repeating, when I was writing the paper, the biggest observation which I made was that they are treated as a criminal rather than a victim. And we have to understand this part. And being a lawyer, my job is also of a social engineer. I have to make everyone aware about the legal rights and also about the social impacts of various other things. So that is why this is the reason that I chose this topic, because what happened
Yeah.
in the previous webinars, I have also talked about the legal issues only, or the
But there
different
is,
aspects, please unmute yourself, whosoever it is. On the section 299 and 300 culpable homicide murder and all. But I thought in my last three webinars, it's my 8th webinar basically. In last three webinars, I thought that it is a very good platform to interact with other people and to tell your own observation, and also to enlighten the other person regarding the legal aspect of that issue. So that's why my 6th webinar was on Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar and his role in Hindu Code Bill and in bringing gender equality. Yesterday my webinar was on excessive privatization, which is not taking place in the regime of BJP, but it started something in last 25 years. So not one government should be blamed for the excessive privatization and growing economic inequality in India, but rather all the government who have come into the power in last 25 to 26 years. Okay, so in this we can blame each and every government. And more than blaming the government, first we have to first self introspect, and we have to blame themselves, because these people forms government only when we give them vote. And why do we give them vote? Because we corroborate with their views and ideology. Okay, so it is extremely important. So this was the reason I thought that yes, I'll do the webinar on the social issues, where more rather than just coming to the webinar and expressing my views and taking few questions and leaving, and then the participant gets the certificate, it is not serving the purpose. So main idea should be that the webinar should be as interactive as possible, and only when the webinar purpose can be solved. Okay, that only when the webinar purpose can be solved. So that is why I chose this topic, because it is one topic in Hindi which says na ki dikhta sab hai. We can see it happening, but we have normalized it. And worst part is that even after normalizing, we are not doing.
ट्राई कर रहे थे कॉल लगाने का, लग ही नहीं रहा था.
Okay, We have normalized it, but even after normalizing it, we are not doing anything. And the worst part is, now calling a prostitute has become an abuse now. And why? Because we I guess no one has unmuted me. Fine, thank God. That's great. Because I remember in my coaching, which has ended today, in my first lecture, it was taking place in the Microsoft team. And what happened that, we were not fully aware about the functioning. So whenever I used to start teaching, they used to mute me, and then someone would say, sir, we cannot listen to you, please unmute yourself. And when I used to mute myself, again unmute myself, someone would have done the same. So we did some sort of changes, so it's okay, now used to it. And like tomorrow, within 2 days, I'm going to do a webinar on surrogacy, in which I have a paper published, and the webinar on the BCI, that whether the 3 years experience for becoming a judicial officer is correct or not. And to the best of my knowledge and experience, I feel it's a very good decision by the Bar Council of BCI, and Supreme Court should now allow it, which they didn't allow to 2002. Anyway, coming back to the topic now. So we have to
Sir, hello.
understand.
Very sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something regarding this 3 years judiciary? Please,
Yeah,
sir,
sure.
please allow me. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my question was, what is the logic behind BCI doing this 3 years compulsory, like advocacy, then like applying for judiciary? We are the judiciary, after giving judiciary exam, the person cracking the judiciary exam is all or gets trained. So like, what's the use of this 3 years experience as a lawyer?
Yeah, I'll give you five. I'll answer all the query in 5 minutes. First of all, the
Excuse me, sir.
concept of
Excuse
this.
me, Rahul, sir.
Yeah.
I am the host Parth Srivastava, sir. I'll just like to say to this Indrajit that please keep your answers to yourself until the speaker's talk is over. We'll entertain all of your questions,
Okay, fine,
and
no
you will.
issues. The host, I think I'll answer this question at the end of the session,
Yes, sir. It's
because
also better for your flow. You will also
yes,
not be
no,
disturbed. Sorry
it's
for
all
the
right.
inconvenience.
I've written this paper 3 to 4 times, because I have to submit for the publication, and it has been, because sometimes on the grammatical issues and sometimes on the research in depth, it has been rejected already once. So I have worked a lot on this issue, so the flow won't be a problem. And don't worry regarding the 3 years LLB. I'll take 5 minutes separately at the end of the session, and I'll give my points. And in previous webinar also, when I was talking about that there should be a women reservation. And one of my good friend from NLS Bangalore, she was like, and she being a woman, she objected that, why there should be a women webinar, and why is it that, and she shouted at me in the public. But thankfully, fortunately for her and fortunately for me, that I'm no longer the same person which I was in the college. I didn't get angry. And I said, fine. I just laughed at her and I said, no problem. I still answered her question. And some of her friend wrote some nasty comments about me that, this person doesn't understand the questions well. I just said, fine, I'll improve next time. So sorry, don't worry. But whenever I do a webinar, within 2-3 days, I'll say the same thing, because I'm going to say what I feel is right. I'm not going to say what you want to listen. And if you ask me personally what I want, yes, there should be no experience. But if you ask me what is right, I would say there should be experience. Now, coming to the portion. Now, why this word prostitute has become an abuse now? Why? Because we treat them as a criminal rather than treating them as a victim. So, what actually happened is that the first legislation which come in the independent India to prevent human trafficking was in 1956, which finally was amended, which kept on amending and kept on being amended, and finally it was amended in 2008. And after reading so much of paper on prostitutes and people working in that area, I finally realized that irrespective of the fact, there is no point of bringing laws for them. Okay, because whatever laws we bring, although there is a provision for rehabilitation, in 2018 act. And also there is some of the states like West Bengal, and West Bengal has started giving them rehabilitation, but it is not going to serve any purpose. So that is why I have decided that in this webinar I'm not going to talk about much of a law, but about the social issues which has been conducted and how the law is failing and why the law is failing. Entire city, and that Nagar Vadhu was very rich. Okay, very rich. It was a very famous practice in the Bihar, also in the Magad, the ancient Bihar, and they were treated with a lot of respect. And later on, the concept of Devdasi system arose in the South India and as well as the other part of the India, which was later turned into prostitution because the social practice was such that they couldn't come out from that practice. Ultimately, it got evolved. And then during the time of Mughal, there was a concept of mujra. Again, there was not much deterioration. But during the time of Britishers, when all these centers were closed down, all this person performing mujras, they didn't had any other options rather than to resort to the job of a prostitute. So that is how the deterioration started. And now, if we see the data, it says that a registered person in the prostitution in India are approximately from 8 lakhs to like 16 lakhs in India. But we cannot say anything concrete on that one. Okay, so now the thing is, the what are the basic problems? First of all, they don't have any economic stability. They don't have any much of legal protection because even if a prostitute is raped, okay, there is no such provision, or I mean, obviously she can file a complaint against rape. If you read the live law, you will find the such judgments also. But there is we have laws for them, but the execution is so pathetic that even a prostitute cannot complain about a rape because she has already indulged in the flesh trade, because this job is also known as the flesh trade. So it is very difficult, and the mindset of the police officer is such they don't even register the complaint of such people. Coming to the economic economy, obviously they don't have any social security, they don't have any fixed pay, and most importantly, the another basic aspect is that they face discrimination. Not only they face discrimination, their childrens who don't have any fault of their own, because there is no fault of a child that where he is going to be born, right? And still he faces discrimination. First of all, Asha, to everyone, Rahul sir, are the no, they are not aware of their rights. Mostly they are not aware of their rights. That's the worst part. Even after so many NGOs working for them, still the benefit of the law has yet to reach at the grassroots level. Now, uh, the biggest disadvantage is that, and yes, they have a very poor healthcare facility. So these are the basic problems. But the worst problem is that they are not able to rehabilitate. How will they rehabilitate when the society accepts them as a criminal? You bring n number of, and that was the crux of this webinar, and also my paper. It's just to say, that we cannot provide them proper protection because they are not able to rehabilitate. We can make n number of strict laws for human trafficking, for prostitution, but how will you will bring end to the sufferings of the prostitutes? Why? Because they are not able to rehabilitate. How will they rehabilitate? First, the society is not inclusive enough. The society does not accept them. Even if the society accepts them, what are the alternative method apart from providing a merge monetary relief for a certain period of time, providing them a free health care? We are not providing them any alternative occupation. And until unless the society does not accept them, they will not be given any other occupation in the society. And that is the reason why we have very low success rate in this field. And also there is a very high percentage of people who have come out of the flesh industry again goes back to the same industry because there is no much options available to them. So what is the solution for the suffering? Why the legal laws are implemented? First of all, I'll answer to that also. See, as all the jurists have said, that no laws can be successful unless and until the societies accepts them completely. Like the Dowry Prevention Act. Let's see the Dowry Prevention Act. First of all, the Dowry Prevention Act was made in 1961, and if you see the last NCRB report, the death rate of people in the prostitution was close to 8,000 a year. So 8,000, there was a 8,000 dowry year in the year where the NCRB report was taken, because I'm not sure that whether they are releasing NCRB report annually or not, because earlier it used to be released annually. Okay, Environment Protection Act was legislated in 1986, but the first NGT was formed after 24 years in 2010. So the law remained on paper for 24 years. So until and unless we, the people of India, which you see in the preamble in the constitution, unless and until we accept the law, unless and until we accept the law, no law can be successful. You bring n number of strict laws, you try to execute them, close down all the brothels. Fine, the law is executed. Okay, then but what will happen? The society does not accept them. The society treats them as a criminal. Then when they treat them as a criminal, they won't be provided any alternative jobs to earn their livelihood. And when they are not provided any alternative jobs for their to earn their livelihood, they won't be rehabilitated. Then again, due to their conditions, they will be forced to go back into the same industry. That is the reason why I kept saying that that's my biggest biggest crux, that unless and until the society does not accept, it will not be successful. My understanding is that government and law, I'll take the question later on. So what are the forms of exploitation which they face in their flesh industry? They are forced for the forced labor, they are forced for domestic servants, they are regularly sexually exploited. Most importantly, when they grow old, and in various other circumstances, organ trade, illegal organ trade are also imminent in that industry. So this is the current problem. And what is the condition consequences? The physical and mental health, the emotional health, and the psychological health of the prostitute and her children deteriorates. Okay, and a good amount, and obviously the social, because of the social stigma, she is not able to rehabilitate. Hence, the legal consequences, her constitutional and the legal rights gets violated always. If we see what are the legal aspect, I have already said that section 372 and section 373 of IPC prohibits selling and buying of the minor for the purpose of prostitution. It is and they are charged not only for the human trafficking but also for the kidnapping. And it's a bailable offense, and the punishment starts from the 7 years, and it can goes up to the life imprisonment also. Other provisions of the constitution, if you see from 19 everything they have, it's available to them, but it is not enforced. And first of all, instead of any authority, first of all we have to accept that we are at fault. Even the prostitute, if they want to access any legal right, they can approach any district court. See, I'm telling you the law. Approach the district court, apply for the legal aid. She will get a lawyer for free, but she's not getting. Na? Why? Because it will be very shameful for her to even move out from her house and to approach the court. Why? Because the society will treat her as a criminal. Now, just a second. Now, obviously, in one of the judgment in the Sushil versus State of UP 1994, and the other judgments, the Supreme Court clearly said that the prostitute has also equal liberty to file a rape case, and the prostitute also has the right to life and personal liberty and right to live with full dignity, and her consent, the word consent, matter for any sexual relation. Now, I told you about the problem. Why it is why prostitution is not only about the female, it's about the other. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Your doubt is right. Not only women, but also the people from in a committee, or what you can say, the transgender. They are also the ones who are there in the prostitution industry, because it's a first of all, it is a multi-billionaire industry. And now the problem, what I said, the problem is same. We are not accepting transgender as a human being. And why? That is why they are resort to cheap professions, like they have to resort for either prostitution or for begging, or getting into getting into illegal activities. So this is the problem. We have to accept them, and we have, unless, and who are we? Who are we? The God has even made us, and God has even made them. It is not their fault that they was born as a transgender, and it is not their fault that they have to go for prostitution. Okay, it was the circumstances which forced them to go into prostitution. So who are we to discriminate them when they have the equal constitutional right, same as us? And yes, again say, why all the government policy failures take place? First of all, there is a lot of corruption. Second, they know even if they bring it, they won't be able to rehabilitate properly. Forget about the cost analysis, that we have to give them a lot of healthcare facilities. Yes, it is a legal profession, Prerna ma'am. We have to give them a lot of healthcare facilities, free healthcare facilities for there. We have to give them compensation also, but it will not help unless and until we give them alternative source of livelihood. If we give them alternative source of livelihood, only then they will be able to rehabilitate. And how will they get the alternative source of livelihood? From the society itself. I'm an advocate, how will I earn? When the people from society will approach me and they give their case to me, they'll give me fees, and I'll fight their case and I'll win, and then refer to me to the other people that, okay, this advocate is good, you should go to this advocate, only then I'll earn my life. Okay, but already we have the since the time the transgender is born, or the prostitute, since the time from the time she enters her profession, we keep on violating her right to dignity and right to privacy. Both are part of Article 21, and mind you, Article 21 is a fundamental right, and it is the most important fundamental right, which cannot be even suspended, which cannot be suspended even during the emergency. You should know that in emergency, our fundamental rights get suspended, and ADM Jabalpur, the habeas corpus gets suspended. And the prime example was ADM Jabalpur judgment. Although if you see correctly, it was not a wrong judgment, because in our country, we follow procedure established by law, not the due process of law up till that time. And after the Menka Gandhi's judgment, we said that we will follow both the procedure established by law and also the due process of law. Means the judicial officer has to apply his judicial mind also, and was the reason in the Puttaswamy judgment that ADM Jabalpur was overruled. That judgment was overruled, or it was said as a bad judgment. Okay, so we have to understand this point first. And another part, that another aspect, it has failed because government body, first of all, it's not that we lack assets or resources to help them. It is the intention for not helping them, which is forcing us to say that we lack assets. We don't lack asset, or we don't lack any resources. We lack the intention to help the trans people from the transgender. We keep on making a controversial law for them, to which they regularly oppose. At least transgender people can come to the road and protest. Have you ever seen people indulge in the flesh trade, coming into the road and protesting something? Why? Because we have taken away all the confidence from them. They are not even ready. They know that nobody will talk to them with any dignity. And if you think it is an Indian problem, sorry, it is a universal problem. Something which arose in last 500 to 600 years. And obviously, as a part of civil society, see, how a law succeeds. Someone was asking, law succeeds when law provides equal protection to everyone, and if there is and if a law is violated, then the person should seek remedy. But it is on paper. How he seeks remedy? When he is aware about his right and he has access to the tools or to the person who will seek remedy for them. Accessibility is main, and that is why Legislative Act of 1987 1987 says that every person has the right to for free legal aid, legal aid and equal access to justice. And they know, and trust me, even if they know that the society's structure is such that they will never get access to justice. And this is something we have to work upon, not on the making of the laws. Now, moving forward, as we are actually running out of time also, because I have to take your questions. See, and obviously lack of legal protection. Now, first of all, first recommendation, yes, first and the foremost, we have to change our mindset. We have to live and let them live, so that they are able to rehabilitate and earn their livelihood. And also, first of all, like there are many officers, good police officers who work in this industries and who ensure that a lot of women comes out of this profession. For that, we need to give them proper compensation. And for me, my advice will be that the whatever compensation we provide, suppose we are providing a woman a 2 lakh rupees, so 1 lakh rupees should be given to her immediately, and 1 lakh rupees should be fixed in her name in any government bank, like Indian Post Office or any government bank. And it should be said that she cannot break that 1 lakh rupees FD for next 10 years, but she can take a loan to set up her business or to make her own house. Okay. And she can utilize the interest we get, whatever interest, the small interest. Obviously, one will never get a huge number of like large interest on 1 lakh rupee FD. But anyway, it's just a start. I'm just recommending something that she can utilize the FD as her own use. Right now, what happens is that a compensation is provided, she uses for some time, and now when she knows that yes, there is no source of livelihood, then she again goes back to the same profession. So this is something, compensation should be given in this manner. And also, when she leave, and even if he doesn't leave, we see what is at present they are working in that industry, so they should have free access to, at least free access to healthcare facilities, and their children should be given proper education in a good school. Okay. And actually, see, and if you say like one will say send them to government school, it's so for free. But again, they are not able to get into government school also, I mean, coming from that background, that is the biggest problem. And when their children remains uneducated, yes, someone committed vicious cycle, then again he took up criminal activity. So it is very important that the government should not only help the prostitute but also their children's also, at least in terms of education, because even their children have the right to education under Article 21 A, subclause A, like free and compulsory education up to 14 years. So a private educational institutes can be set up in the supervision of government, which educates, although there are few NGOs, but it should be done by the government directly. And this is something government a government can do, even if the society does not accept them. See, society is not accepting them, But at least if government, establish good medical facilities for them, or good and good educational institutes for their children, at least their miseries can be reduced to by 30 to 40%. So either we solve the problem or we reduces the pain. This is how we work, and this is how the research skills help. And that is what I keep on advising all my juniors, that please do study, but along with study, do more and more research. Like even if you go and write the judicial service examination, see, even I know what is res judicata. If another person also knows what is res judicata. Okay, Hardik, you cannot put everything. I'm not putting everything on the government, but I'm putting the basic part which government can do. We cannot go and open a school even for ourselves. We cannot go and make roads. That is why we give votes, and we choose government, that he will work for us. And how he will work? For that, we pay the tax. We pay the tax, and we tell the government that the government, we have selected you. We are paying you the tax. Use this money and give us this facilities. Okay, so that is how, like, India is a welfare state. If you read the Keshavananda Bharati's judgment, so that is how, at least this is something government can do on their part, like giving them healthcare facilities and giving education to their children. Okay, because this is something, if like 100 good spirited people goes and give them education, it won't impact a big amount of population who are there in the prostitution. But if the government do, it can impact every one of them. So that is why this is something which we can put on the government. And obviously, my first recommendation was, we have to change the mindset. It is not on the government, but on ourselves. Like, and also,
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I have a point here. The thing is, like, we can change the mindsets of the people. Like, we have to do most of the things, but the government is providing everything. And why we are cutting them out of the society for, especially, like, we have to make different schools or different something. We have to accept them in our society. Government is providing
that's what I said. See,
free
okay,
free healthcare facilities without any. You have stated many laws before, like they're providing justice to all, equal justice and equality. They also come under the same society. So why do we need them to separate them, to provide them specially? We have to accept them in the same government schools.
See, that's what I'm saying. You know this fact. I know this fact. Okay, we all know this is the problem and this is the law. Are they getting
Yes,
a
sir.
benefit of this law? No.
But sir,
So
because we are not
till that time, see, it will take generations to change their mindset. 40 years ago, intercaste marriage was a crime, although honor killing is common in India now. And live-in relationship was something of one of the biggest social stigma. But now, so live-in relationship is a very normal thing. Even Supreme Court has acknowledged and provided a lot of rights to live-in relationship couples. And intercaste marriage
Sir,
is something which is happening every next door, right? So
sir,
it
these
takes.
are the things that can still be acceptable with some. You can say the rules can be breaken.
You give me the example. I know no issues, ma'am. You teach me now. I'll accept
Sorry,
it.
sir.
If I see, I'm not getting angry. Don't worry. If I like your point, I will definitely write in my paper and I'll give you credit.
Sir, I am saying that we have to accept people. We have to accept people in our own surroundings. Like, I am not saying, because sir, I am doing the same thing. I am a law
See,
student.
ma'am, I understood. Listen, you said that we have to accept them. Am I denying it? I'm not denying it. What was my first recommendation and what did I say in the start? We have to accept them as victim, not criminal. We are treating them as criminal. And no, we are not treating them as victim. And that is why, for this time being, see, right now they are not getting anything. But at least for time being, government needs to give their children education and healthcare. Now, if you're saying, no, first we need to change ourselves, then you are saying that, but it will take 20 to 30 years, no?
Exactly, sir.
Should their children wait for 20 years to get education?
No, sir.
We are not
I'm not saying
separating
that
them.
they should
We
not
are not
get
separating
education.
them. See, the downtrodden people of the marginalized section of the society always needs special treatment. Okay, and that is why at the time of independence, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people, and even the women who are suppressed in every sphere of their life. That is why we have subclause 3 in Article 15 and subclause 4 in Article 15, which says Parliament can make special laws for them. So are we separating them? No, we are giving them special treatment to uplift them, and that is what I am saying, that we need to give them special treatment to uplift them.
So sir,
सोसाइटी के
why?
लेवल पे जब
So
चेंज होना होगा होगा, बट एटलीस्ट अभी तो उन्हें रिलीफ दीजिए. आप
सर
कह रहे हैं कि
रिलीफ जो
समाज
उनको
अच्छा
मिल
होना चाहिए,
नहीं
समाज
नहीं
अच्छा
सर,
होना
मैं
चाहिए, बट भूखे को
समाज
खाना तो खिलाओ पहले.
पर सर मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो इमोरल ट्रैफिकिंग एक्ट है 1956 का, वो लिखा है या कुछ लिखा है? पहले तो हमें लॉज जस्टिस आर्टिकल जो है
2018 में
LGBTQ
मैम
के,
एक्ट बना था अमेंडमेंट के बाद, ठीक है, उसमें रिहेबिलिटेशन की बात की गई थी. बट जितने भी लोग प्रोस्टिट्यूशन में हैं, वो 2018 में जितने थे उतने आज भी हैं.
एग्जैक्टली सर, बट द थिंग
I
इज
hope you
कि
know the
जब तक,
meaning difference between law and rule, right? You know the
यस सर आई
difference
नो
between
दैट,
law and, so law तो बन गया मैम, लेकिन एटलीस्ट स्पेशल रूल्स बना के, ऑर्डिनेंस स्पेशल रूल्स बना के with the help of executive, who is executive, IS IPS officer, so that it gets implemented on the spot, a short span of time. See, driving, see, if you kill a person by rash driving, you will be charged for rash and negligent driving. That is a law. But
यस सर,
wearing a helmet, wearing a seat belt, it is a rule. Rule, it is a general phenomena. Rules are generally implemented quickly. So definitely by making certain special rules, we can create special schools for their children. सोसाइटी को जब मैं आप ये कह रहे हो कि पहले हमें सोसाइटी को चेंज करना है, तो उनके बच्चे फिर एक जनरेशन के लिए हम उन्हें नहीं पढ़ाते हैं, फिर उनको फ्री
नहीं
हेल्थ
सर
केयर नहीं देते हैं.
नहीं सर, पढ़ाने के लिए
अब
नहीं, आप गवर्नमेंट
okay,
स्कूल्स में डालिए.
suppose I am an MLA. Tell me, I have two options. I have to change the mindset of the society, or I have to make a school and a free healthcare center for women in prostitution in my district. मैं क्या जल्दी कर सकता हूँ, आप बताओ.
Yes, sir, you can always build up the school and you can always build up the healthcare
So that
facilities
is what
first,
it
but
is
they're
saying.
already
Ma'am, that
there.
is what. ना कहाँ है बताओ, कहाँ है बताओ. Because अभी
उनके
तो
लिए
मैं
नहीं है
एक
सर, बट इक्वली सबके लिए है, तो वो वहां जाकर एक्सेस करें. बस चीज ये है कि उनको अवेयरनेस
अच्छा,
नहीं है,
आप ये
उनको
कह
अपने
रहे हो कि
राइट्स के बारे में नहीं पता.
उन्हें सी, आप ये कह रहे हो कि उन्हें जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल बने हुए हैं, उन्हें जो गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल बने हुए वहां जाना चाहिए.
हाँ, मेरा मेरा
एंड
कहने का
दैट इज
मतलब ये
व्हाट
है.
आई एम सेइंग मैम, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि वो वहां नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, और वो जब तक वहां उस जाने लायक होंगे तब तक एटलीस्ट मैं उन्हें एक इंटरिम रिलीफ तो दे दूं. उससे मैं उन्हें डिफरेंशिएट नहीं कर रहा हूं. मैं उनके एक मोहल्ले में स्कूल खोल दे रहा हूं कि यहीं पे एटलीस्ट पढ़ लो, हम आपको रिहेबिलिटेट भी करवाएंगे. ये दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. बिकॉज सी, okay, and see, I'll tell you the reason. India is facing a shortage of 8 lakhs doctor, and this COVID-19 just simply exposed our healthcare facilities, right? And our
Yes, sir.
regulatory laws में इतने लकुनाज हैं कि 2 वैक्सीन आती हैं और इतनी जल्दी पास भी हो जाती हैं. My knowledge and my experience says that at least for a vaccine to pass, it should take at least 3 to 4 months proper trial.
Yes, sir.
See, and now in this facilities, imagine the conditions for prostitutes. Okay, see, and now imagine the conditions for people in prostitution. No access to healthcare, no livelihood in this lockdown. And what was their condition? So this was this was my recommendation कि first of all, जो अभी भी इसमें है, इस क्या कहते हैं कि इस लाइन में है, उनके लिए हम एक सोशल सिक्योरिटी मेजर दें. एटलीस्ट हम उन्हें ही से एक अलग समझ रहे हो. ओनली देन एटलीस्ट फॉर टाइम बीइंग कि हम उनकी एक लाइफ ठीक कर सकते हैं. आप कह रहे हो कि नहीं LIC से आके करवा लो. व्हाट इनकम प्रूफ विल दे गिव? Will the LIC accept? And
No,
now
they
you are
won't
saying,
accept, sir.
and now you are saying that make amendments in the LIC. in the policies of LIC. Now, if you amend in the policies of LIC, there are hundreds of people who wants to invest their black money in the insurance sector to convert it into and to show it into a white legitimate money. So
So,
that
sir,
is why जो आपकी प्रॉब्लम है, see, I'll tell you, जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी होती है उस तरह के जो अभी प्रॉब्लम है उनके लिए हम एक स्पेशल लॉज देते हैं, and that is why in the COVID-19 lockdown, more than the society, it was the people in prostitution who was the biggest sufferer. At least आपकी प्रॉब्लम सुनने के लिए मीडिया है, हमारी प्रॉब्लम सुनने के लिए मीडिया है, कोर्ट्स हैं, उनकी प्रॉब्लम कौन सुन रहा था उस टाइम? And see,
exactly,
there
sir.
was
No one
medical
is there.
reports in the newspaper. It was it was the reports that most of the even the advocates were thankfully by the grace of God, when the other advocates were facing a lot of financial difficulties, the God was kind on me that I got a very good mentor. And when other people were sitting idle, I got a chamber where I drafted more than 350 check bounce cases and other criminal cases. And it was in the lockdown I learned it. So it was a grace of God that the God was kind on me. But God is not kind on the people in the prostitution. Nobody was there to listen to their misery. And that's what I'm saying कि ये misery इतनी जल्दी solve नहीं होगी. That is why उनको at least for time being एक interim relief देना जरूरी है. और इसलिए prostitution तो legalized profession है ही, but उनको अलग से एक social security schemes के तहत उन्हें proper हर महीने एक pension and उनकी insurance बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, so that they can invest their money in the other places, and when they feel that they should leave the profession, they have a solid financial backup standing for them. And that is how आप एक दिन में नहीं खत्म कर सकते, with the systematic way. जो चीज the thing which have taken to deteriorate for like 400 years, you cannot change it in 2 days. Like take them to the government hospital, the doctor will say I resign but I will not treat her, then what will you do?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is the one, like we can provide them insurance facilities or something like this.
That's what I
But
was saying,
accordingly,
that's what. Yeah, tell me.
but this will also take time. Like, I'm not saying that the
See,
points
this
are.
will take time, but this will take a lesser amount of time, and this is and to execute it, it is more practical rather than changing the society. आपकी सोसाइटी
Yes,
को
sir.
बोल
I
रही
do
है
get
जो
it.
जो वो व्हाट्सएप पे तो न्यूज पढ़ती है और उसको न्यूज मान लेती है, और वकीलों को लॉ पढ़ा देती है, डॉक्टर्स को मेडिकल पढ़ा देती है. सोसाइटी इज गोइंग एक्चुअली इन दैट वे, राइट ना?
Yeah, yes, sir. I
The
do get
category we
it. But
called भक्त और जिहादी.
sir, on this,
There
if
are
we
two
don't
categories of
even.
society.
Yeah.
You should
The main
understand
thing.
this.
Yeah.
See, that is what, and this was my recommendation, because this lacuna in the laws and the execution was the thing why in the COVID-19, which not only exposed the Indian healthcare system, but actually it showed the conditions of prostitution in this lockdown. So that is why my all the recommendation, first we have to change ourselves. It will take a lifetime, but we have to check ourselves. Then proper compensation to the woman who leaves, and the compensation should be divided into two parts. Rehabilitation will get success only when, if until see, there are many housing scheme also, we can provide them shelters under those housing scheme. And see, one can never say that India lacks funds for this. And we have to take out a special amount of funds, irrespective of the fact कि हमारी GDP कहाँ जा रही है, वो तो वैसे भी जा रही है. But the thing is, जिनको ज्यादा जरूरत है, the people, see, if we see the data, there are 20 lakhs people in prostitution, but it is not an actual figure. If a prostitute have 2 children, then do the maths. Then what is the population? So we need special funds for them. Like, and social securities measures, like giving them every month pension, making special insurance policies for them, building schools for their children, and providing healthcare for free in their locality. And this should be done not only in the strict supervision of an IS officer, but the IS officer should be and it should be done in a way that he should direct every weekly or a 15-day report to the district judge. So, and this way, the legislature, executive, and judiciary all will work in the betterment of the people who are in the prostitution, not by the choice, but due to the circumstances. And last but not the least, I will end it on this, that we should treat them as victim, not as a criminal, even for the prostitutes and for the transgender people. Okay, thank you very much. I'm open to the questions. And before that judiciary part, first of all, the जिस judgment की लोग बात कर रहे हैं 2002 की judgment, in that judgment, Prerna, I would have loved to share that paper, but it is not published right now, so it will be misused very badly. So if once it will be published, I'll post it in my LinkedIn also. You can check over there. See, first of all, in that judgment, Supreme Court clearly said judiciary is not a job, and we, the great Indians, have converted judiciary into a government job itself. It is not a job. Suppose you go to a commissioner's office, police commissioner, or a cabinet secretary office, or even the prime minister's office, or even in the president office. You sit, you go to his office, his chair and your chair is at the same level. Okay, you are equal. Everyone is equal in the eyes of law. But whenever you go to the court, the judge pedestal is above. So it is, first of all, आप दिमाग से निकाल दीजिए कि ये गवर्नमेंट जॉब है. Considering the employment, कि 3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस क्यों होना है, then ADJ का भी खत्म करना चाहिए, उसमें तो 7 साल का एक्सपीरियंस मांगता है. People will say, if someone has established a practice, I mean, I would like to know that who established his practice in 3 years. Okay, that because me, even after having access to the top lawyers of Delhi, I am not able to establish in last 2 years. I would like to know that who established their practice in 3 years. I mean, by establishing the practice in 3 years means you are earning more than 2.5 lakhs or 3 lakhs a month. I will not count like 1 lakh rupee a month as a practice, because if someone is earning 1 lakh rupees a month, trust me, 20, 25,000, 30,000 तो उसके expense में निकल जाएगा. तो कुछ तो अपने parents को भी देगा, कुछ अपने savings भी करेगा. So please. And how about people working for 20 years, then by collegium going for a judge? Then why would he leave? Justice U.U. Lalit, he was the son of one of the top criminal lawyer of India. He was earning in crore. He defended Mr. Amit Shah. But he went for the judiciary. He went. He left all this money, his money behind in the practice. His first son is in IIT's engineer. His second son, when he was appointed as a judge, he was in the second year of the law college, and he left. So definitely, all his associates would, or the juniors would have got his practice, not his son. So please, and if you look all over the world, there is experience required before becoming a judge. Now I'll tell you, you conduct an exam. You give them proper training. IS officer का क्या होता है? 21 में लड़का IS हो या 2 साल की ट्रेनिंग मिली. IPS, I'll give the example. I keep on giving the example of IPS. IPS बना for the first 2-3 years. Okay. For first, after 2 years, he become 23, and then he is appointed as ASP, Assistant Superintendent of Police. 3 years. Sorry, 1 or 2 years, and then he becomes DSP for 3 to 4 years. So to become an SP who actually takes charge of the district, it takes 5 to 6 years after clearing UPSC exam. And then that's how he becomes an SP. Okay. And the judiciary officer, like, let me tell you, Supreme Court also said that judiciary is not a job. We have made it as a job. That's a different thing. Average age of a judge in UK is 58 years. Average age in USA, when someone becomes the magistrate, who is at the bottom of the hierarchy, it takes, although they have an eligibility criteria of 5 years, but the average age is 20 to 22 years of practice. One becomes a judge in US. Now, even it's the same in Australia, and it is everywhere. Now I'll tell you something else. By conducting an exam, you can select a very talented person as a judicial officer. No doubt. There is a person who has worked hard for 5 years, every subject distinction, gold medalist, and has published research papers also. He has done moot courts. He has won international moot courts. He's very talented, no doubt. Okay. At the age of 22, he cracks. He completes his LLB, and at 22, he becomes a judge. First of all, always remember one thing: you can select a talented person, but a person, a human being, a manushya, what we call it, a manushya, he attains his decision making skills improve only by his experience, तजुर्बा. तो उसे उसका अनुभव तजुर्बे से बढ़ता है, ना कि पढ़ाई से. I'll give you an example. मैं अपने केस का, there was a notice served to my client under section 91 to produce this document, and they also asked to come to the police station. I got this thing and I said कि यार 91 की अगर नोटिस मिली तो आपको बस स्पीड पोस्ट करना है डॉक्यूमेंट, मैं आपको रिप्लाई बना के देता हूँ, यू सेंड मी माय फीस. ही सेड सब बुला भी रहे हैं और डर लग रहा है कि सर गलत केस में फंसाया. आई लाइक फाइन, आई एम कमिंग. For next 2 days, for every day I used to spend like 7 to 8 hours in the police station with them, just to ensure that the police does not take any forceful confession to them or no custodial violence is committed. Verifying all the documents, I was there with them. And now, suppose I have not seen all these things in my life, I would have just become a judge then. Suppose I just cleared the judicial service examination, I would have gone by the book now. I would have gone by the book. The book says police has produced the accused. These are the evidence. You have to apply a judicial mind that whether the accused is right or wrong and just give him the bail. Right? I would have seen, oh, evidence. He has accepted. Accept कर रहे हो? He will say, no sir, I don't accept. पुलिस ने forcefully confession किया था, लिया है मेरे से. But ये evidence आपके खिलाफ जा रहा है, ठीक है, पुलिस की बात अलग है. Then sir, ये गलती से हुआ वो हुआ. I will not understand his human angle. I will not apply his human angle. I'll apply the I'll go by the book. I'll say, oh, bail rejected. तो जज का काम कोई लॉ को एग्जीक्यूट करना या पब्लिक को कंट्रोल करना नहीं होता. जज का काम होता है जज करना. Okay, that is why when two persons are in fight, they go to their senior or to someone who has experience that yes, please listen to us impartially. You have the experience and what your experience is, and then decide the matter. Suppose you and your cousin brother are fighting. Will you go to your younger brother that you become the judge, or you go to your father or your mother? No, don't go to your mother. Mothers usually take sides of the elder son. Like it's there in my family. It doesn't happen. Right? So that is why experience is needed. And yes, how we can improve it? Like, first of all, the problem क्या है? First of all, विधि की रिपोर्ट ने ये सारी बातें बताई थी कि जज को ट्रेनिंग मिलनी चाहिए. When this judgment was given in 2002, there was only one NLU, and like NU and NALSAR and NLIU and NUJS, उनके first batch pass out होने वाला था. Only one NLU, 2 judicial center, one in Secunderabad and one in Assam. Now we have 18 NLU, 18 or 20 NLUs. What was the purpose of NLU? So that the brilliant mind comes into legal profession. Legal profession में नहीं आ रहे, they are going for corporate jobs. क्यों? हमने education ही इतनी महंगी कर दी. Now विधि report also says कि जो बच्चे वकालत में आ रहे हैं, more 79% of those people, thankfully, by the grace of God, I am unfortunately not that, and I really feel for them. Okay, because it is not their fault. They have studied hard, but हमारी legal education इस type की है कि they are not employable. We are paying 25 to 30,000 for registration. It is the duty of Bar Council to give proper training of 6 months to every law student. And even after proper training of 6 months, still I would say still there should be an eligibility criteria of like either 1 year or 18 months. कि आप पहले प्रैक्टिस करो, आप समझो क्या होता है कोर्ट में. विटनेस की एग्जामिनेशन, आपके पास क्लाइंट नहीं, आप कोर्ट जाके देख तो लो कैसे होता है. आपके किसी दोस्त के फादर एडवोकेट होंगे, उनके साथ आप देख सकते हो, आप समझो पहले. एंड देन योर अल्टीमेटली योर डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल्स इंप्रूव, क्योंकि वहां आपको डिसाइड करना है. आपको डिसाइड नहीं करना होगा. आप जज बन चुके, आपको बहुत अच्छी ट्रेनिंग मिली है. ट्रस्ट मी, देयर आर 24 जुडिशियल एकेडमी इन इंडिया, नेशनल जुडिशियल एकेडमी इन भोपाल. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है? विधि की आप रिपोर्ट पढ़िए. अब आपको लगेगा विधि कौन होती है? विधि इज द सेम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन which advised the government of India, advised the government of India when they were drafting insolvency and bankruptcy code. पहले तो इंसॉल्वेंसी जैसी कोई चीज थी नहीं इंडिया में, वैसी उस चीज पे ऐसी एक लॉ बनाना, सोचिए उनकी क्या कैलिबर होगी. और उन्होंने ही कहा था कि आप ट्रेनिंग तो दे रहे हो, लेकिन जो जज बने हुए हैं उनको आप कैसे ट्रेनिंग दोगे, कि उनको कैसे जज को ट्रेन करना है. मींस there is a judge who clears the exam. Now he has to go to the court. He has to observe the proceeding of the senior judge कि judge कैसे काम करता है. तो जो जज काम कर रहा है उसे तो ट्रेन करो कि उससे अपने जूनियर जज को किस तरीके से ट्रेन करना है. बिगेस्ट लकुना. We are not giving judges the training of forensic about the forensics. We are not giving the training of training. We are not training the judges about the revenue. That's why income tax tribunal में हमेशा IRS commissioner बैठता है. We are not giving them the commercial knowledge. That's why NCLT में एक जुडिशियल ऑफिसर के साथ साथ एक टेक्निकल ऑफिसर्स को बिठाना पड़ रहा है, which is an Indian corporate law service officer who advise the judicial officer that whether this insolvency केस को लेना है या नहीं लेना है. कहाँ ट्रेनिंग हो रही है? And these trainings इतनी बेकार तरीके से ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं. Now you will say ट्रेनिंग को improve करो, please. ऐसे नहीं होता है. We need experienced student, experienced person जिसका तजुर्बा है, who will become a good judge. I'll give you one more example also. Or these trainings have become picnic. The first Rankin committee in 1924 says कि बच्चा इसमें deteriorate हो जाता है. 14th law commission in 1958 says कि practice नहीं होनी चाहिए. But 118th law commission report finally said कि because we don't have that facilities, and even if the facilities come, even obviously the decision makings gets better only with big the biggest ratio of Supreme Court judgment in 2002 was training. Training picnic बना दिया ना हमने. Now I'll give you one more example. Two students, 23 years old. एक लड़के ने बहुत पढ़ाई करी, बहुत रिसोर्स पेपर लेके, बहुत मूड कोर्स किया, बहुत अच्छा किया, लेकिन उसका प्रैक्टिस नहीं है. LLB करने का तो उसने 2 साल बहुत जी जान से तैयारी करी. He clears the exam. दूसरा बच्चा, उसने भी बहुत अच्छी पढ़ाई करी, उसके भी डिस्टिंक्शन होल्डर है, वो टॉप 10 में था अपने कॉलेज का, बट उसने कॉलेज के बाद प्रैक्टिस करी. उसने बहुत सारे केसेस अलग अलग तरीके के केसेस पे काम किया. उसने साथ साथ तैयारी भी करी. उसने भी जुडिशियरी एग्जाम निकाला, लेकिन टॉप नहीं किया, लेकिन जज बन गया. आप तो बराबर है. Ask yourself who will be a better judge, the gold medalist who has just prepared or the person who has also practiced. किसकी डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल्स और होगी. एक और जजमेंट आपको बताता हूँ. MP लोहिया वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल 2005. Supreme Court said that due to media trial, the judicial officers also gets influenced by the media trial and their decision making gets impacted. So एक हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज की डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल्स इंपैक्ट हो जा रही मीडिया ट्रायल से. So a person 23-24 years old with no experience of life and no experience of court, emotional बंदा, सिंघम बनना है कि जजमेंट देना है, that kind of person will be the first one to get influenced by the media trial. या मीडिया में यार प्रेशर आ गया कि यार बेल दे दिया तो मीडिया गोली मार देगा, मुझे बदनाम कर देगा, बेल रिजेक्टेड. Because it is a fact. Go ask your parents. When a person gets a lot of experience of his life, a lot of when a person becomes very experienced in life, when he meets a lot of people, when he becomes 24 or 25 years old, he becomes more sober. Okay, he becomes more sober. He accepts more things. आप खुद सोचो कि जो आपकी डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल एट द एज ऑफ 23 थी, इट इज बेटर एट द एज ऑफ 80. दैट इज व्हाई ADJ के एग्जाम के लिए वी हैव 7 years ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. और उसमें तो बहुत अच्छे से स्क्रूटनी हो जाती है. नाउ द कमिंग की इससे ड्रिफ्ट कर जाएगा. उसके क्या है, वी हैव इंक्रीज्ड द सैलरी ऑफ जजेस. Now the salary of JMFC is far more than a salary of an MLA and an IAS officer. ये अच्छा हुआ. Now अब और अच्छा कैसे होगा? We need proper एग्जाम स्ट्रक्चर कि बार बार एग्जाम हो, टाइम पे एग्जाम हो. ये हो सकता है, कोई बहुत बड़ी चीज नहीं है. उनके प्रमोशनल एस्पेक्ट वी कैन इम्प्रूव. अभी 60-40 है. 40% में 25% जो प्रमोशंस होते हैं फ्रॉम JMFC टू ADJ, इट टेक्स 25% सीट्स होती है प्रमोशन के लिए, क्योंकि जो JMFC बनी है वो टाइम के साथ साथ प्रमोट होके ADJ बनेंगे. इट टेक्स नॉर्मली 13 to 17 years फॉर JMFC टू बिकम ADJ. उसको हमें चेंज करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि 15% डिपार्टमेंटल एग्जाम है. एक JMFC आफ्टर द 5 years ऑफ सर्विस, after being a judge for 5 years and after attaining at the age of 35, he can sit for the ADJ exam. अगर उसे improve 35 के age के बाद after 5 years of being a judge, okay, if he clears the departmental exam, he is promoted to ADJ, and 60% is reserved for practicing advocate. वी कैन चेंज इट 50-50 कर सकते हैं कि 25% डिपार्टमेंटल एग्जाम कि आप 5 years ऑफ सर्विस के बाद उनका, तो अगर आप उनका कोटा बढ़ा देंगे देन द स्टूडेंट विल रियलाइज कि एट द एज ऑफ 35 अगर मैं जेएम एडीजे का एग्जाम देता हूं, आई विल हैव ए फैमिली, मेरे माँ बाप बूढ़े हो चुके होंगे, आई विल हैव लाइक वाइफ एंड चिल्ड्रन, उस टाइम में प्रैक्टिस, उस टाइम में पैसे कमाने के लिए सोचूंगा, उस टाइम में बैठ के तैयारी नहीं कर सकता, तो तैयारी मैं अभी कर सकता हूँ, प्रैक्टिस के साथ साथ काम भी सीखूंगा, प्रैक्टिस भी गेन करूंगा और बहुत तैयारी को, बिकॉज राइट नाउ वी ऑल आर यंग, we can work hard, we can work day and night, but at the age of 35-40 we cannot work day and night because we have a family to feed, we have children who are dependent on us, we have old parents who are dependent on us, and ultimately आज जो student है बहुत career oriented है, it is opting for 5 years advocate, 5 years LLB, so ultimately he will, after attending 2 to 3 years of practice also, he will definitely go for JMFC exam. बस ये बहुत छोटी छोटी इंप्रूवमेंट्स है, और प्लस वुमेन कैंडिडेट, बिकॉज अगर 3 years एक्सपीरियंस आता है, सोसाइटी इज एज सच कि सोसाइटी इज एज सच कि एलएलबी खत्म हो गया, अब शादी कर दो, 1-2 साल में जो करना है करो लड़कियों के लिए. सो अनदर थिंग जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जिसकी इजाजत करता है, वी नीड मैंडेटरी रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन फॉर 33 to 40% इन जुडिशियल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन, कि अगर 40% सीट फिल नहीं होंगी तो वो रिजल्ट को डिक्लेयर ही नहीं किया जाएगा. एंड दीज थिंग्स आर वेरी समथिंग, एंड कोई ना कोई होगा तो इसमें पीआईएल भी डालेगा, हो सकता है मैं ही डाल दूं, अच्छा ही रहेगा. ठीक है, जो इस चीज पे जाएंगे, वी नीड एटलीस्ट 33% to 40% रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन. सो इससे वुमेन का भी फायदा है, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी इंप्रूव विद टाइम. अभी एक बच्चे को उठा के जज बन जाता है, एंड इट हैज बीन फाउंड दोस काइंड ऑफ जजेस आर वेरी रूड, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है वो जज बन गए. एक इवन मंत्री पे भी लड़की छेड़ने का आरोप है, तो आई कैन समन दैट मिनिस्टर इन माय कोर्ट अंडर सेक्शन 509. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ ए जज. एक आईएएस ऑफिसर का अगर चेक बाउंस होता है, कुछ भी मींस इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द रीजन, एक आईएएस ऑफिसर की चलिए वाइफ की चेक बाउंस कहीं होती है, आई कैन समन दैट आईएएस वाइफ ऑफ आईएएस ऑफिसर इन माय, और खड़ा रखूंगा उसे. दिस इज द पावर ऑफ ए जज. एंड ऑब्वियसली इफ समवन गेट्स इट विदाउट एन एक्सपीरियंस, तो उसमें एटीट्यूड आना लाजमी है, एंड इट इज आल्सो एक्सेप्टेड आल्सो, एंड उसी चीज की कंपनी. सो सॉरी फॉर आई गॉट ड्रिफ्टेड, बट आई वांटेड टू से दिस. एनी क्वेश्चंस ऑन प्रोस्टिट्यूशंस प्लीज आस्क. मैंने जुडिशरी वाला बोल दिया, एंड यस 2 years LLM, I seriously hate that decision, very bad decision by BCI. And done. Ask your question on prostitution please. Any questions? या मैंने सारे डाउट एक बार में बता दिए.
Sir, I'm Parth Srivastava, the host. I'll be checking the chat box and I'll ask the questions which the attendees have asked. So just wait for a while, okay?
Have you wondered what will the rehabilitation will cost them? No, nothing. Nothing will cost them. We need special laws. Okay, you can anyone who has the question, who has doubts, and yeah, just one more thing, just a second now. Part is yes, and ma'am, you can see, you can ask any person who knows me personally from my college age that if I'm not the same person as I was in college. I was very impatient. Okay, I was highly emotional, and had I been the same person, then I wouldn't have entertained your question for so long. I would have got angry, or I don't know, I would have asked you to stop. But now, after gaining some amount of experience, now I was able to understand that what you want to ask, and that is why I kept on answering your doubts until unless you are satisfied. Yes, Mr. Vishnu, you can ask the question. Anyone, please unmute themselves and please ask a question on prostitution and human trafficking.
सर
यस, पहले अपना नाम बताइए मैम.
या आशा राइट सर.
या आशा मैम बताइए क्या काम.
आई थिंक आई एम ऑडिबल सर.
यस
Yeah.
मैम, यू आर ऑडिबल. प्लीज.
Sir, I just yeah, okay. So just wanted to understand, got all your points, whatever you have discussed, and all the arguments and everything. How to change the mindset? Do you think it is that easy to change the mindset?
No, it is the toughest.
I mean, it is really shameful. And trust me, what I believe is that it's not us, the population. It is just the governance that needs to be there to change the mindset. I am open. I'll accept.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Have you asked your question and can I answer now, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, the thing is, see, it is always us to blame, and see how we can change the mindset is by teaching about that problem to the children at the early age. First of all is this, because and also in the colleges there should be regular visits or should be arranged, because see, it's not possible to set up this kind of system in every college, but in most of the colleges who accepts this, and government can make provisions that yes, college has to do this kind of social work. There should be regular visits of young people in those areas, and only when they visit and they meet the people in prostitutes and they see the misery, only then they will realize that they are victim. And see, these things, when we bring when we bring their conditions into limelight, again the media also needs to pay attention for this, and then it is only then we can improve we can improve this problem gradually. Okay.
Agreed, sir. I agree with you. But what I want to share, or what I want to say is
Yes, ma'am, tell me.
that despite of having so many laws, how many of them are aware of it, and how many people
No, they are
actually
not
are
aware.
ready to support
They are
them?
not aware.
Nobody. कोई
See,
आता नहीं है सामने.
see. They know that if the people in that industry, they know that if a person hits them, they can go and file a complaint that this person has hit a woman. इतना तो उनको पता है. They know at least this much, but still they are not able to file the FIR.
And the best part is we the Indians are so sanskari, so cultural, so value based. Population फटने को हो रही है ना? संस्कारों के बाद भी ये हाल है that we really want to enjoy everything, but
Yes.
सफेद कपड़े में.
See,
ठीक है ना
and
सर? तो
see,
जब तक का ये
and
mindset change नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं change होगा.
yes, ma'am, I accept, and that's the one of thing. And the young people, the judge also in this case also, which is universal, that what actually happened. What actually happened is that what actually happened that we are judge for others' problem, but we are advocate for our problem. We advocate our problem. कहते हैं ना कि इंसान दूसरों के लिए जज होता है, अपने लिए वकील होता है.
Bang on,
So that is the
absolutely.
thing. We have to first work on our mindset first. Only then this purpose and this problem will be solved. Okay.
Agree with you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you. Any other questions? Because we'll end
Hello,
the session
sir.
in 5
I'm
minutes
Nanika.
now. Yeah.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
sir. I'm Nanika.
Yes, ma'am. Malika,
Sir,
बोलिए.
there's sir. Okay, it was a very nice webinar. I really enjoyed, and I really believe in your recommendations. But
Thank you.
there was one very there's a journalist actually I know in Delhi, and she was once she had a huge urge that what if prostitution is made illegal? She wanted that this is a better way कि उनके पास तब कोई एक रास्ता नहीं रहेगा to choose
No,
another profession.
that's extremely highly illogical. Okay.
Yes,
That's
I agree. But
extremely
she was of the
illogical.
view she has
No,
been
then her
often
views
been.
was wrong, na. If some politicians comes up and say that the earth is not round, earth is flat, because I read it in WhatsApp. Okay. So we cannot accept their views. Because
But
it's not
she's actually fighting for women's rights. So
then these kind of people are hypocrites. Ma'am, this kind of people are hypocrites. Okay.
But I think
There is
I'm
a difference in
empathetic to her.
their work and what they say. I'll tell you, ma'am, see. It illegal, it cannot. It is the choice of a woman. Can you restrict the right to choice?
Sir, actually, yes, sir, I agree with what you're saying. I also agree. I was trying to make her
मैं तो
understand.
मैम इन और
But
चीजों को
actually, the
illegal
thing
में
is
नहीं
that
मानता.
she is. रेगुलर विजिटर टू जीबी रोड, जो वहाँ की प्रोस्टिट्यूशन जो साइट्स है वहाँ पे वो जाती है,
मैम सी,
तो
अरे तो
वहाँ पे
मैम
उसको
सी
मतलब बहुत बुरा लगता है कि वहाँ पे उसको बहुत बुरा लगता है कि उनकी कंडीशन
okay
देख के,
fine,
तो she
no see, let's not
so she
argue
often
on
writes on paper.
see ma'am see, recently one of the senior member of National Commission for Women said regarding the Budayu rape that the woman wouldn't have been raped that if she would have stepped out of her house with a male member. So ma'am, let's leave it. These kind of people are hypocrites. They don't understand that if we make prostitution illegal.
नहीं sir, एक minute. I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. But what she's saying is that it is a better way. It is a better way to take them out of the profession.
No,
Now I don't think
she,
in it. I don't
no,
think that this
no,
is viable.
no, I'll tell you.
So
I'll tell you. Yeah, you make you. I'll tell you. Okay, fine. At one instant, I'll agree that whatever she's saying is right. Fine, I accept. I accept
but she
completely.
wants them to go to have other profession, like she wants rehabilitation.
Listen. I'm answering. He said, fine.
Uh-huh.
Declare prostitution illegal. I accept. Give them alternative source of livelihood. They also have right to
Rehabilitation, yeah.
livelihood under Article 19 and right to right to learn right to earn livelihood under Article 21. Give them livelihood. Give them another source of livelihood. Give them an alternative source and declare this illegal. So that
But sir, it is not like it is. Is it possible? Like it is not possible in the real sense, right?
No,
Although it is not possible in the real sense.
Who said?
But sir, rehabilitation मतलब इतनी जल्दी तो नहीं हो पाएगा ना? Because it is one of the aspects of prostitution is that trafficking का भी तो trafficking is also related to it.
Ma'am, that is why I provided the interim relief in free medical facilities and free education for their children and rehabilitation. Who said nahi ho payega? Rehabilitations ho payega. We need to provide special houses under housing schemes. Okay, housing schemes के अंदर उनको एक small 1 HK देना बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है. It should be allotted in their name and it should be like they cannot sell it. It will be for their whole their life. We have to provide compensation to them. Yes, we need to take out a good chunk of money as a resources to help them. For that, we need an intention. Today, nobody is bothered to help them. Are you getting it? And that is why I said that we need to change ourselves. When we bring the change in ourselves, only then we will, we'll ask the government to make special laws to allot special resources for them. Right now, everyone is neglecting them. See, imagine what was the condition in the COVID-19. We don't have. We are facing the lack of doctors by 8 lakhs. We need 8 lakh doctors. We need more government hospitals. And what was the result of more government hospitals? We have lack of hospitals, that the private hospitals started charging 3 to 5 lakhs from COVID-19 patients. So at least if we have money, if we can borrow from someone and we could have got the treatment for the COVID. But where would have they gone?
That too I understand. No, sir, I'm not against it. I also work in the same sector, so I know that whatever you are saying is right. She also works for the same. She has been working very much. She has been working with the police personnel.
National Commission of Women की head भी तो उसी sector में ना. But see what statement she made.
मुझे उनसे क्या लेना देना है? National Commission के her views was wrong, but ये जो क्योंकि मैं जानती हूँ इस जर्नलिस्ट को, she is trying for the right thing, but only the thing is that her जो उसका point of view है, I think it is wrong, that it is not viable, it is not practical. That is what I'm saying.
पता भी नहीं था ये कौन है जर्नलिस्ट,
I had one.
जानना भी नहीं है मुझे, तो मैम इनके व्यूज जानने भी नहीं है.
But हाँ वो actually she is a public figure, but
नहीं let it be,
ठीक है कोई बात नहीं.
Osama bin Laden was
I have a second question.
Osama bin Laden was elder to me by 3 years. So let's leave it. Let's
ठंडा हो जाइए पहले. पहले मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि see, I have no issue with your recommendation. I really liked your recommendation. In fact, I'm thinking of like doing more research into it. But what I want.
Please do share it with me also.
हाँ, अगर कभी मिलेगा तो I'll message you about that. I want the second. Are there any steps, any recommendations you have for preventing trafficking, like for preventing because trafficking तो
Actually,
आजकल ऐसा हो रहा है कि
see,
सिम कार्ड की
I know,
दुकानों पे भी ले
see,
जाके,
see, I know. Actually, actually, trafficking. The issue with trafficking is, see, trafficking is taking place not only in India but in outside, and cross-border trafficking is also important. In this, again,
Yeah.
if again, it is not in our hand. First of all, if we see in most of the cases, trafficking are done by the people itself. They are selling their own daughters out of poverty. So biggest reason is for the trafficking is the poverty. But if you ask it again,
Yeah.
we need actually strict vigilance over the laws, and vigilance over or vigilance law, not only the law but strict vigilance over the vigilance officers. Like most of the trafficking, cross-border traffickings, where does it take place? At the borders, at the seaports. Are you getting it? At the seaports, at the border.
हाँ,
So it
चाइना से
is
भी
very much.
पाकिस्तान से भी चाइना.
So that is why it in the Nepal side, Nepal border, if you all know. So all the officers which are appointed, we need another set of officers. We can appoint. See, there are interdepartment vigilance officer also. So we need more vigilance on those officers itself. Are you getting it? So this is my one
Are you saying
criteria.
that? Are you saying that sometimes officers might themselves be pimps? Like they might be. Are you saying in that way?
Yes,
Do they have
absolutely.
connections? Like
Yes, I have,
yeah.
and I have the audacity to say this also. It's okay. I accept.
Yeah.
I'm not putting in the blame, but yes, I accept this practice.
There might be connections. Yes.
Yes, of course, there is.
What if we like if we allow people who are previously sex workers as vigilance officers, because they might be knowing more about.
No, we cannot appoint them as vigilance officer. We can take their assistance in, ma'am, we can take their assistance in investigation to get the resources, to get more information about the criminals and criminal places and their hideouts. But we cannot appoint them. I cannot agree with this part, unfortunately, ma'am. But we can take their help in the vigilance part, in the investigation part. They will be very helpful in the investigation part because they know in and out of the whole trade, right?
Yes.
That is okay. I hope your doubts are clear now. Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions?
Sir, how can we create? So how can we create employment facilities, or you can say we can generate their incomes after rehabilitation of the sex workers or the people who have been rehabilitated? Like we can also provide with them, provide like the small scale industries or handicraft work or something.
See. If you establish an industry, right, then you are giving them employment. But if you give them skills training, okay, if they are skilled in tailoring or handicraft work or any other work, if you are giving them a skills to learn, if you're training them with the skill, then you are providing a lifelong resource that to the person, to earn the money. For example, there is a person who pass out his LLB. I'll tell you. You said that how you provide employment to that person. Suppose what he does that. Apart from, see, if he does not, and the situation is he's not having any financial crisis, right? But he needs money. So if he joins an LPO, legal process outsourcing, he'll start earning 25 to 35,000 a month. Okay, but there he's only earning money because there is an industry of LPO and there he's earning money. But if he would have joined an advocate, he would have earned less, but he would have learned the skills, the art and craft of litigation. Then when he would have left the chamber, he would have earned throughout his life, and his income would have increased by the time. So that is what I'm saying. Give them skills training. Also, the job also. Okay, we can have that after skills training, we can give them these amount of jobs in the or we can start the jobs in NGO. Okay, and then from the NGO, instead of giving them petty jobs, we can give them skills training so that they can go anywhere and earn. Okay.
Yes, sir. But sir, that's again not very easy. It's the toughest job again.
I know. No. Toughest job is to changing the mindset. And a person who has just left the flesh trade, trust me, she or the transgender also, that both these person will be the most eager to learn something new, which will fetch them livelihood throughout their life.
Again, sir, who will give them? Like, there are no particular
For
ITIs
this,
working on.
government is responsible. Because if I go and help people, I can help maximum 5 people, 10 people to the best of my resources. Okay, if 100 like us helps, then we can help like 500 people or 5,000 people, right? But we cannot force everyone in the society and no, please come and help them. So that is why what things we cannot do, we choose a government for that, and we give them tax as a resources to fulfill their job. And these are certain things like giving education to their children, giving them proper health care, and in order to rehabilitate, because government is for providing them rehabilitation. What are they giving? They're giving them free health care. They are giving them compensation. That's it. But is it enough? Once the compensation money is over, she goes back to the same profession, because government is not giving them proper skills training. She is not learning anything, and she is not acquiring any skills which can fetch her another job apart from prostitution. Okay.
Yes, sir. But I think, sir, awareness is also very important part that plays a
Yes,
major role in
awareness
it.
is important, but the impact of awareness result in very slow in every field. Okay.
Yes,
In
sir.
every
I do
field,
get
not
that.
only in. Okay, that's it. Okay. Another question, and then we have to end. Sorry, if the webinar has stretched a lot long. Any other questions? Okay then.
Sir, I don't think we have any other question. So we'll
Okay,
move
then.
towards vote of thanks.
Yes,
It's
it's
not
past, right?
happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. I would like to
Yes.
thank a key speaker, Mr. Rahul Tiwari, for taking out time from his busy schedule and enlightening us with his knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank Visionary India for organizing this webinar. And I would like to thank all the participants present for paying your attention and learning. You have been a great audience. That's all from our
Sure.
side today.
Yeah,
Hope to see you
obviously.
all soon in another event. Till then, goodbye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. And all the best.